So now I want to set up a tunnel that is not destined to the firewall, it is through the firewall. My tunnel right now, this one, R4 to R6, is going from this tunnel endpoint through the firewall to this tunnel endpoint. My data that I need to encrypt is 10.4 to 10.6. Agreed? The objective of the lab is to show you what do you need to open up on the firewall in terms of what? ACL. Yeah? So how do I do it? How do I set this tunnel up? Let's set the tunnel up and then we'll open the entries. And that is what this lab is all about. Lab 6, configuring a LAN to LAN tunnel between what? R4 to R6 through the ASA firewall. So R4, phase 1, destined to 192.1.60.6. Let's take a look at 60.6. 60.6 is an address that's assigned to this interface. I'll check what DMZ it is. I think it is DMZ 6. 60.6 is a public address. I do have a route, a static route on the internet router saying that 60.6 is reachable via 192.1.20.10. So I'll have a route over here. So the routing should be taken care of. R6 will have a default gateway towards R1. He will have a default gateway towards the internet. So the routing should be taken care of. Let's check. Let's check the routing on R2. Show IP route. I should have a static route for the 60 network, which is pointing to 20.10. 20.10 is the IP address of your firewall. On the firewall, the default gateway is pointing towards R2. And on R6, I have a default gateway, which should be pointing towards 60.10. 60.10 again is your ASA firewall. Everybody okay with that? Your topology. So when I say Cisco ISAC key, Cisco 123, 60.6, that's the IP address on R4 that I'm going to set the tunnel to. Phase 2, normally, ACL 10.4 to 10.6, good. Crypto map pointing to 60.6, matching the ACL, applying it to the interface. Everybody okay with this? Normal stuff that we have been doing it for the last 2-3 days. Go to 4 and paste it. Easy peasy. And I'll do the same thing on 6 in the reverse. Point at 24.4, which is the public IP of R4. Phase 2, the ACL is 10.6 to 10.4. And I have my crypto map towards 24.4, match address, and apply. Copy it, go to 6, and paste it. Ugh. All right, now let's talk about opening the entries up. What entries do I need to open up? How many phases do I have? I have 2 phases. Phase 1, which is set up based on UDP 500, and phase 2, which is set up based on ESP, the protocol ESP. Now, when you're doing this on a CCI lab and also real life, try to be as specific in your ACLs as possible. So don't do a UDP any EQ 500 or permit ESP any. Do it specifically from the tunnel endpoints. So I don't need to worry about going from high to low. This is a DMZ with a security level of 50. This is 0. So I don't need to worry about this way, but this way I do need to worry about it. So from outside, how does the packet come in? The packet comes in from 24.4 to 60 for those 2 ports. So if you take a look at the ASA, the entries are host 24.4 to 60.6 for port 500 UDP, and then ESP, which is its own protocol, 24.4 to 60.6, and apply it. Understood. So when a VPN is going through the ASA, you need an entry for phase 1, you need an entry for phase 2. And these are the 2 entries. Copy it, go to the ASA firewall, and apply this through ACL. So this is show run access dash group. I have the entry over there. And let's see if it works. I'll go to router 4 now on the outside and ping 10.6.6.6, source of 10.4.4.4. If everything is fine, this tunnel should come up. Show crypto ISACamp SA. What we have been doing all along is just that this time around we ran it through an ASA firewall and opened the appropriate entry. So the main objective of this lab was not to show you the LAN to LAN tunnel. You guys have done enough of that now. My main objective of this lab was to show you the ports that you need to open up. And you need to be very specific on these ports on the exam. If you open up too big of a hole in your ASA ACL, you will lose the entire question. You need to be precise with your ACL entries on the CCI exam. You understand that? And that's where a lot of people lose it, because they don't really care about it. They just care about the VPN coming up. No, they're looking for these type of things. And that's where you walk out of the exam thinking, oh, my VPNs, all of them work fine. I could ping. And you get your result and you say, oh, 60%, what happened? The ACL happened. So it's not just about getting the VPN up. You need to be precise in the way you configure it. Very important.